Good morning. Well, if you're either level 3 or level 4, we'd like to welcome you to the first episode of Akau TV for the new season. My name's Hamish Hayes. Louis Herman Watt has left us for bigger and brighter things and the bright lights of Sens Radio, so I'll be taking over as your new host for the new season. Firstly, I'd like to welcome Jamie Richards. Congratulations on last season, mate. It was an amazing achievement to record 160 wins and 4 group and listed races in Australia. Can you talk us through some of the highlights?
I think the highlights is probably got to be, I guess, the way that the team went throughout the season. Like big number of starters were able to maintain a good strike rate, and I guess if I was to pick sort of one or two special days, probably Probabeel, being so dominant in Australia and chalking up those couple of Group 1s, the Epsom and the Futurity. Avantage racing through, so well throughout the season, and probably the Group 1 double there at Ellerslie on Cup Day when Melody Bell won, and also Sort of State won the 2-year-old race. That's a pretty special day.
Awesome. It was a fantastic effort from all of the team involved to get the amount of winners that you did last season. So hopefully this season we can continue on with more of the same. Obviously it's been a big couple of weeks in New Zealand racing with obviously the alert level changes, and we're starting to see the inside of that now with a lot of race meetings. You've had races on Wednesday, Thursday, and now you've got over 30 trialists going to the races today. It's a big effort to get the team up and going and trying to predict when horses are going to be going to the track. How have you been finding that, and how are you kind of managing your way through these alert level changes?
Yeah, it's been pretty frustrating, I guess, sort of galloping horses for race meetings that were then abandoned, and not really knowing with a great deal of certainty where we were going. But thankfully, we're back into it now, and everything's going according to plan. We had a few runners there at Cambridge yesterday. We weren't able to pick up a winner, but we had some really nice runs that should be turning into winners shortly.
Cool. And Opie's still stuck in jockey purgatory. What's his plans, and is he going to be getting back to the races anytime soon, or is that going to be obviously alert level dependent?
Well, I think probably alert level dependent. We have, I understand that Dave and Karen have tried to apply for an exemption as an essential worker. So I'm just not 100% sure where that lies at the moment, but obviously he's not riding this weekend, and he's a pretty important part of the team, so we'll be doing everything we can to get him back as soon as possible.
Cool. And just finally, before we start touching on the runners for the weekend, you've had quite a decent team over in Australia over the past couple of weeks. Karma Lass lines up this weekend at the Valley, and Amaralina and Entrivier both trialled yesterday. Can you talk us through the team, including Probabeel and Sort of State, and where they're at heading into their new spring campaigns?
So Karma Lass is down to run tomorrow. She's in a listed 1200, but forecast quite a bit of rain there today. So we'll just sort of see how the weather forecast is today. I think she'll run well. She'll improve with the run a little bit. She's off the back of a bit of a freshen up since she trialled here in New Zealand, but she is going well. Entrivier and Amaralina both trialled at Randwick yesterday. Both trialled up really nicely. Entrivier won with James in the saddle, and she's going to go to the Rosehill meeting that's going to be held at Kemla Grange next Saturday, running the Shiroko Stakes there, Group 2, Fillies and Mares 1200. And Amaralina will wait another week, probably kick off on the 18th in the Bill Ritchie Handicap, which is a race we targeted with Probabeel last year. So she's going to have to be right at the top of the game to be competitive in a race like that, but we think that she's worthy of having a crack with. Sort of State just had a bit of a bad blood there, and wet track and just a little bit of waste feed. A few little things weren't going our way, so we just backed off him for a week. He's back in the stable at Randwick this morning with Dad. Probabeel's really been the only one that we've been able to get off to the races, which was a great result last weekend when she was able to return in such good shape and win impressively. So she goes to the Sir Rupert Clarke Saturday week. She's going to be ridden by Brett Pebble there. She's excels at Caulfield. 1400's a really nice trip for a second up, and I think she should give the race a good shake.
That's right. How could have I forgotten about Probabeel and her amazing win last week? Moving along, let's try and find everyone a winner for the weekend, knowing that most people are going to be stuck home on the couch, or maybe they might get the chance to go and visit a golf course if they are down on level 3. So we're going to kick off today at Hawera in race 2. There's only 4 horses nominated, and kicking off with Ballon Rouge.
Yeah, Ballon Rouge is going well. She trialled up well at Cambridge on the synthetic the other day. Obviously, there's been a few scratchings with sort of ourselves included, which is unfortunate for the club, and I do apologise about that. But it is a field that's got some real quality in it. And at anyway, Hoodlum looks a very promising horse for the Benno Wynyard team. Our filly will run well. Pikey's one, looks above average. So I see no reason why this can't be a good form race, even though there is only 4 in it. So hard to be betting in those sorts of races, but she's going to run well.
Cool. And moving on to Tarapa now. So our first runners in race 2 in the Savile Row 2100, a rating 65. She Brings Me Rubies.
Yeah, She Brings Me Rubies has been mixing her sort of flat running with a bit of jumping, and that's where she's going to sort of head at her next start. So this is another run to fit her for that. She's drawn a soft gate, gets 4 kilos off, should get a good run from there, and wouldn't surprise us if she gave a little bit of cheek, but she will be better when she's sort of got a few of those sticks in front of her, which she really does enjoy.
Perfect. Moving to race number 3, maiden 3-year-old, 1,200 metres, Pure Imagination, a nice ready-to-run purchase last year by David Darcy Brahma, Grandilla.
Yeah, really nice colt. Got a lot of time for him. Drawn a bit of a sticky gate. So just going to be dictated to by how he jumps there. He showed good acceleration from the outside at Cambridge at his last trial. So hopefully he might be able to sneak forward a bit with Opie not riding there on Saturday. Jonathan Riddell is going to ride him for us, and he's got a good association with the stable. We rode a Group 1 winner for us on Heroic Valor at Ellerslie in the Diamond Stakes. So looking forward to seeing him kick off his campaign tomorrow.
Nice. And moving on to race number 4, you've got 2 runners lining up, the first of which is Medal for Waikato Stud.
Yeah, Medal's a nice horse. He had a couple of runs as a 2-year-old. Attitude probably let him down a little bit, so he's been gelded since then. He's got a soft gate. Should get a really nice run from there. These are top quality fields, these maiden 3-year-olds. A few of these horses will be off to stakes races at their next start. But from a good gate, if he gets a soft run and gets a split at the right time, he's got to be a genuine each-way chance.
And a nice Savabeel for filly that's looked good at the trials, the Perfect Pink.
Yeah, we really like her. She had the 1 run as a 2-year-old behind Tudu Kaka and the other Sham Express at Pikey's at Hastings. She's come on for that. She will appreciate that improving ground there. I think she's a real on top of the ground horse. She's got a good action. She could find the 1,200 just a little bit sharp. We'll sort of see how she jumps away from just outside of the sort of middle there for the barrier 8. But she's really going to be attacking the line well, and 1,400 at her next start will be no problem at all.
Perfect. And moving along to the Group 3 Cambridge Stud Northland Breeders Stakes, set weights, 3-year-old race over 1,200 metres. You've got I Wish I Win.
I Wish I Win's a good horse. Very difficult for any horse to run second in a Group 1 at their second start, but he was able to do that. He's come back. He's had a couple of nice trials. Most of these horses that we run tomorrow will appreciate the better ground that they're going to be able to run on. So certainly keep a close eye on him. I'm not really sure how this race is going to unfold or who our top selection is, but we've got 3 really nice chances in the race. Nice.
And another top performer from last season, Imperatrice.
Yeah, she's coming off a bit of a lead up. She got injured after the Diamond Stakes, but she trialled brilliantly at Ellerslie. She's got a nice soft barrier. Danielle knows her well. Hopefully she gets an economical run from there and got to be a really good chance.
And another who lined up in the Cracker Million last season, Mili Fiore.
Yeah, she's a nice filly. We've given her plenty of time since that run. She's got a soft gate as well. Should get a good run from there with Sam Weatherly on. And she really caught the eye working on the course proper on Thursday morning. So happy with where she's at. And it's going to be really interesting to see how this race unfolds, because there is a lot of depth there, even if it is only a small race in terms of numbers.
Great. And moving down to the biggest race on the card, the Group 2 Valachi Downs Foxbridge Plate. You've got 3 runners engaged. The first, Prix de Feu.
Yeah, Prix de Feu's going well. Probably not as sharp as some of these other ones, but it's a nice race to kick them off in. drawn a soft gate, should get a good run, and did run very well on this race last year. So he's going to give a bit of cheek at a decent each way price.
Perfect. And we see the start of the season for the 9-time Group 1 winning mare Avantage.
Yeah, really happy with her. Everything's gone according to plan there. She's had a couple of trials, been away for a gallop, and really kept the work right up to her. She's a gross doing there, but everything's gone according to plan. And as I said a bit earlier, we're probably quite lucky that these races weren't held at Te Rapa last Saturday, because it was a pretty ordinary day in the Waikato and they got a fair bit of rain. So really looking forward to seeing these horses on a good track. I guess the only question mark with her is that she's drawn a bit of a sticky gate. So we'll just have to see how the pattern of the day is playing, and then we can sort of firm things up. But she's going well, and she's a very good mare. She's a champion.
Nice. And the final runner in the Foxbridge, a horse we haven't really seen in this type of company before, Festivity.
Yeah, Festivity's a mare we've got a lot of time for. She's been really good behind Entrevier a couple of times without a lot of luck last season. They're not usually like us to run a sort of a mare off that rating in a weight for age race, but it's just a nice sort of suitable option for her to kick off. So she'll sort of slot in midfield there somewhere with Matt on. Good to have him back in the Tangerine there in a Group 2 race. He's been a good jockey for the stable over the years, and it's certainly one that you need to have in your multiples for the Foxbridge there. She's a mare that will be getting through and winning some decent races this season.
Nice. Look forward to seeing how she performs. Moving down to race number 9, the War Decree 1200 metre rating 65 benchmark. We've got the exciting colt Novier.
Yeah, really happy with him. Everything's gone according to plan. He trialled well on the synthetic, and he sort of got bogged down in the heavy ground there at Te Rapa. So again, he's a horse that wants the better ground. I'm going to see him on that tomorrow. Drawn a slightly awkward barrier in 9, so we'll probably look just to ride him a little bit easy from there, with sort of bigger targets in mind, getting out and trip. As long as he's finding the line really nicely, we'll be happy. He sort of messed up the start at Te Rapa there last time and took no part in it, but we have been happy with his barrier manners since, and he is a colt we've got a lot of time for.
Perfect. And moving on to wrap up the card, race number 10, the Peter Kelly Bailey's Real Estate 1400 metre rating 74 benchmark. You've got She's a Thinker.
Yeah, she's a nice progressive mare that has had a few little injury hold-ups in the last 12 months through no fault of her own. So she's drawn a nice gate there. Palmer's going to take her weight down. She'll sort of be midfield or a touch worse and finding the line well. I'd say that she probably needs to be seen over a mile before she's going to win, but her work has been quite sharp here at the track, and she can sprint well fresh. So looking forward to seeing how she fronts up.
Cool. Now heading across the ditch over to the Valley in the race 7 Charles Tarquin Stakes. You've got Karma Lass lined up. You mentioned earlier that she had some work on Thursday, and there's a bit of rain about in Melbourne.
Yeah, so 25 to 30 mils forecast there today, but Brad Taylor, who's sort of our spy over there, said that the track could be quite firm by now and need that rain. So we'll just sort of see what rating they put up tomorrow, and then we can firm it up from there. She's drawn the Visitor's Gate again, so we'll be looking to ride her a little bit quiet and find the line, but we'll just sort of see what happens in the next 24 hours there with her. It is quite a strong field.
Great. Well, that is Moonee Valley and Te Rapa, and then across to Sunday, we've got one runner racing at Te Araha in race 8 over the rating 65 jumps and benchmark 2200, Richard of York.
So Richard York's going well. He's coming back from Riccarton after running third in the National. This is just really a preparation run for him. He will run there on Friday. On Sunday. He's got to carry a fair bit of weight. Might not have put him in the right race, but Palmer's going to get 4 kilos off him, so he's still going to carry a fair bit of weight. But there's probably the ground is probably a little bit firm for him, and he'll need the runner, but so I wouldn't expect too much from him. But he'll head to the Pakuranga Hunt hurdle after today, and then into the Northern hurdle, provided that everything goes the right way. So certainly look out for him when he gets back over the sticks.
Perfect. So that's all our runners for the weekend. Do you have a best bet for us, Jamie?
Best bet. Well, our best runners have been well found by the bookies, so there's no value there with Avantage or Imperatriz. But they're the two that I'm most looking forward to seeing back at the races this weekend. Got a couple of 3 runners there at Ashburton on Monday, and you could certainly follow a horse called Supreme Khan down there on Monday. So that might be one for people to keep an eye out for.
Perfect. All righty. Well, good luck for the weekend, and thanks for catching up, Jamie. And we'll catch you again next week, mate.
Thanks, Hazy.
See you later.